This is what fights inflation. Nothing else fights inflation other than having your own gardens. Because remember, food is the single biggest issue. Water, food, water, energy, security, barterability, wealth preservation, community, and shelter. If you haven't put those in place, get them done. Get them done as quickly as you possibly can. Stagflation, for those that want a definition, is declining growth and increasing prices. Guess what? We're already in stagflation. But hey, that may happen in the future. Well, let's see. Blink your eyes. Oh, it's happening. It's ridiculous when they talk about all of these things that is going to happen in the future, maybe, when you're living through it right now. So don't be fooled by their misinformation. That's their job. I get it, but it's a rotten job. It really is. Not one that I would want. Because, real consumption has stalled. Yes, it has. Any of the price gains, most of that is because of inflation. And people are starting to balk about paying these higher and higher prices. I love it when they say, economy's doing great. Well, yeah, those at the top. I love these reports that talk about how the wealthy are, inflation is an inconvenience, but, it doesn't hurt the wealthy that much. No, because the wealthy don't have to decide between buying food for your family or putting gas in your car. They don't have to make those choices. But most of the public do have to make those choices. And they're hard choices. But these guys haven't worked a day in their lives. They sit around the table and they make all these theories and they try all these experiments, and we're the big guinea pigs because this is really about wealth transfer. We get the dollar bills when they have less and less value. So I hope you're not even thinking about buying this dip, because that's insane. When Powell came out and said that he could do more than 25 basis points if he needed to, that he is committed to fighting inflation above all else, well, the markets went, no, I don't like this. Now today, the volatility in these markets, the banks and the traders are making a lot of money. Are you? No, you're just watching your prices go up and up and up, because the reality is the entities that are really controlling all of these markets, whether it's wheat or it's oil or it's anything else, are Wall Street traders. And they don't give a crap about your standard of living or whether or not you live or die, to be perfectly honest with you. They only care about making a little bit of money. They love this volatility. And if you have your wealth invested in any kind of fiat money product, the real trend is what's happening to the purchasing power. And even if you don't go on the purchasing power charts at the Federal Reserve, you're feeling the inflation, aren't you? Every time you go to the grocery store, every time you go to the gas pump, every time you do anything, prices are going up substantially. That's really the loss of value in the purchasing power. Is that going to change? No, it's not going to change. It's going to get worse. The Fed is increasingly being forced to consider what is the least bad policy mistake. So in other words, there's going to be a policy mistake. Guess what? They're already making them, and they've been already making them. So what is the least bad policy mistake it wishes to be remembered for? Meeting its inflation target by causing a recession. And even if they do cause a recession, I got news for you. It's not going to stop this inflation. It's too late. It's too late. Or allowing high and potentially destabilizing inflation to persist well into 2023. So no matter what they do, I've been telling you this for a while, they're between a rock and a hard place, and they're out of tools. They can't really fight this inflation because it's not demand side. In fact, consumption is going down. So even when we're showing, look at how strong this economy is. It's built on inflation numbers. That's what it's built on. That doesn't really make for a very strong economy. And this is a big, huge warning. Highlights recession worries. What are they going to do when this next recession hits? And it will, I promise you. I mean, I'll give you 100% guarantee on that puppy. 100%. And I can't usually give you many guarantees. But I don't think we've left one yet, personally. It's like, let's just change the way we account for things, and then people don't know what's really happening, except you know every time you have to open your purse or your wallet. You know that everything is costing more and more and more. And if your income does not keep pace with that, you are SOL. Sharp moves in the U.S. Treasury market are increasingly pointing to the risk of an approaching recession, with bond vigilantes coming out of the woodwork. They were handed this market in 2013. I should have pulled the VIX chart, but I didn't. But I've shown you that about a gazillion times. Spot gold is concluding a second cup, and it's positioned to go a lot higher. So you want to do yourself a favor. I mean, seriously. You want to buy more. You want to do it now at these price levels because it will get more expensive and availability will get tighter and tighter and tighter. At some point, sooner or later, all gaps get filled. And that is what's happening with silver right now. So you can see that gap and you can see how it's gotten filled over here. This is strong foundational stuff. This is indicating somewhere around a price bottom and substantially higher prices moving forward. And you know, it's not really the prices that worry me too much because they're still both so severely undervalued that I frankly don't really care about the prices. But what I do care about is the availability of all these different things. Because once in the physical world, there's a finite amount. And once these things come off the market, they're not coming back on. So I'm grateful that I was able to build my barterable and a lot of my positions over many years when I still had access to absolutely everything. But you want to do this sooner than later so that you can get the best alternatives before they're going away. I can't tell you what they are because I don't work in that area. I'm constantly researching. But our consultants can because that's what they do every day. And they have a much better handle on exactly what's available than I do.